So I haven't decided how I want to do football coverage yet. So this is a work in progress. But yeah, I know I wasn't excited for football, but as soon as I saw it on TV, I was like, yes, this is what I need. Um, I'm a player myself. Well, was, thanks to COVID. Um, yeah, this really scratched that itch. So I'm only gonna cover the Giants because, in my opinion, well, until we get to playoffs, I'll cover the playoffs in full. But in my opinion, football's not like hockey. In hockey, you can like multiple teams, and it's really not that big of a deal, you know. Um, in football, it is. Like, I'm a Giants fan. I grew up in Pennsylvania. I hate the Eagles. I hate every single one of their fans, all of them. All there's no good Eagle. There's no such there's no such good as an Eagle, good. There's no such thing as a good Eagles fan. You might find a good Cowboys fans. They're just misguided, and Redskins fans don't exist because they're not even a team anymore. So yeah, that's how I feel about that. Pittsburgh. I don't like Pittsburgh either. I don't really like any other teams for the most part besides the Cardinals and the Panthers because when I played like youth football in Pennsylvania, I played for a team called the Cardinals and the Panthers. So that is the only reason I have any like towards those teams. Other than that, you might have a cool jersey and I might want to buy your jersey, but your team can go kick rocks in my opinion. But anyways, the Giants. Monday Night Football during the night's game, and all I was feeling was, oh God, I hate everything. Because every single sports team I like sucks. The Yankees suck. The Rangers, they sucked in the playoffs. The Knights, they made me believe for a little bit, but then they sucked. The Giants, they have potential, but they still sucked. That's why first headline, making improvements, but new issues arise. So, I didn't hate the play that I saw from the Giants for most of the game. I liked the play calling by Jason Garrett. I was very happy with most of what he did. But I had some issues with other things. I like the defense, but not the secondary. I don't know. Again, it's week 1, so it's hard to predict going forward, but we'll see. My biggest issue was no run game. That drove me. Like, the one thing that I was very sure the Giants could do this year was run the ball. I think Barkley had like 6 rushing yards, maybe 9 at most. He got all of his yards from a screen pass. And, like, it's a screen. Like, you should get at least 5. There was no room. No room at all. They tried pulling the guard, didn't work. They tried to do inside zone. They tried to do like a stretch. They tried to do off tackle. There was nothing going on in terms of running the ball, and that's a problem because this team is going to be built around running the ball. Is it a week 1 issue? Hopefully, because it was pretty atrocious. But when I see things like the guard pulling too slow, I'm like, all right, that's probably week 1. But when I see thing like the right tackle and the right guard just not picking up their assignment, I'm like, And the thing is, there's no training camp, so how much does that affect it? You know, there's a big I can, as a player, I can tell you there's a huge difference between game day and practice, not even just in terms of physicality, but when you go for a block in practice, you know that guy is going to be exactly where he's supposed to be, and you just got to make sure you get to your spot. It's a little more chaotic in an actual game, and any other player will tell you the same thing. So, I don't know. Again, with no training camp and this being like my first actual game, I don't know. But there's got to be some changes. Like, the line wasn't bad, though, because in terms of pass blocking, I was actually pretty impressed. The Steelers have a really good defensive line and bring a lot of really good blitz packages. They picked them up okay for the most part. There was one sack in, like, the second quarter, I believe, where the center misread. They should have checked to cover the right side. The center went and covered the left, so they had 3-on-2, and there's just no picking that up. The other issue is Barkley's got to do a better job blocking. He didn't have a great season in terms of pass blocking last year either. You got to pick that up. Daniel Jones is going to get hurt. But speaking of Daniel Jones, much better in the fumble category. Not as much turning the ball in that way. He did throw 2 picks. One was a great play by TJ Watt. The other one, I'm going to blame on play calling partially. It's late in the game, they're driving down the field, and it's a long drive, and they run a bootleg to his left. The problem is when you're running to your left as a right-handed thrower, it's not like a seamless throw. When you if you bootleg out, right, and you come to the right, so you spin around, right, your throwing side's right here, and you could throw that ball while you're on the run. When you bootleg the other way, I'm a lefty, so this is really weird for me, right? And now I'm running this way, trying to throw. It's just not the same, and I don't even know if I'm mimicking this properly, but I don't like the play call unless he was supposed to just run, but he wasn't. He was looking downfield the whole time, so he wasn't just supposed to naked boot run. So that's how I feel about the offense. Besides, we'll talk about Slayton. So yeah, DJ's just got to make some better decisions, and the offense needs to play to him a little better. There's no run game to set up those passes either. But I expect to see a lot of play action, a lot of boot, a lot of off tackle runs, some inside zone. They just gotta get it down. So we'll see. The biggest thing from the Giants that I was so happy to see was the pass rush. I'm a big fan of watching pass rushes. I'm a lineman, so like this is my bread and butter. I love watching those battles. Leonard Williams was great. Dexter Lawrence played great. Dalvin Tomlinson played great. B.J. Hill played great. Lorenzo Carter played good. I didn't really see O'Shane Ximines or Marcus Golden making plays, but I could have just missed it. I was at B-Dubs with friends, as I said in the last video. But it looked good. Martinez was even getting on a couple of blitz, and he had some good run stops too. There's a lot of pressure from that defensive front. I'm very excited to see what they do. Don't talk about breakout players now. My pick for breakouts this year, I even drafted him on fantasy, is Darius Slayton. He looks insane. 2 touchdowns on the day. He just makes the big catches when you need him to. 5th round pick from last year. I'm really excited to see him this year. He's a big body too. He has like the Julio Jones build. Nowhere close. I'm not comparing him to Julio Jones. Julio Jones is definitely the best in the league, and we can argue about that later, but not this video. He's got that big frame though, and that lean, those lean legs with that big frame. If you know what I'm talking about. If you've seen Julio Jones, you know. But he's fast and he's got agility. He's gonna be great. And then the other one is Lorenzo Carter. Lorenzo Carter, outside linebacker. I thought last year was gonna be his breakout year. A lot of Giants fans did, and we really expected it. He only had a couple good games. I think his best game was against the Patriots last year. He played good tonight, and I'm expecting more from going forward because he's playing as the on-the-line linebacker. So he's the one coming on the blitz. He will drop occasionally, but he's the one bringing the pressure. And last year that was Marcus Golden, but now they're on a rotation, and I think that really helped. So that's it for the Giants. You know, they have some issues. They have some upside. It's week 1. They're 0-1. They're playing Chicago next week. We'll see. We will see. I have reasons for optimism, but I'm also expecting to go 0-2. In terms of the Steelers, I'm just going to say a few things as I don't care about the Steelers, really. I don't like the Steelers. I've never liked the Steelers. It always has bugged me. Same thing with, I think it's maybe because I'm an Eli fan and everyone shits on Eli endlessly, and I have so much respect for Eli Manning as a player and as a person. Big Ben and Phillip Rivers have had some of the top offenses and defenses to help support them for most to all their career. Phillip Rivers has done absolutely nothing with it, and Roethlisberger hasn't done as much as he should have. You know what I mean? Like, Pittsburgh should have been like a dynasty in the last decade, and the Chargers should have at least made an appearance. Neither of them have, but Eli, with his ragtag group of morons, somehow did it. And honestly, I don't. I'm just saying that because that's what people say. Oh, it's such a fluke. No, this was a good team. They were well built. They were a team first. That's the type of team I like. Eli's the guy who inspired me to play football. I will defend. Again, conversation for another time. We can talk the Roethlisberger, Manning, Rivers argument later. But anyways, Big Ben, hit or miss? I'm not sure yet. There's a couple times where I'm like, who are you throwing to? Looking like Josh Allen out there. But late in the game, he started picking up. And again, that could just be week one. No training camp, no preseason, you know. It's possible. The arm strength is definitely on the decline. And he was under a decent amount of pressure, so we will see heading into next week. I'm not ready to put out any predictions. The other thing was that James Conner got injured pretty early after 6 carries, I believe. So the run game was still there, though, because the Giants eventually gave up like they normally do. The Giants play like a half and then say, okay, we'll go get a draft pick. But, yeah, he played fine. He played fine. And I don't think that you're going to get much better out of Big Ben this year. Like, fine is good enough for Roethlisberger this year. And the other biggest thing is the defense. The Pittsburgh defense looks pretty legit to me. I like their front seven, strong. TJ Watt, even though we all thought that he was going to be like just name value pick, but no, he's actually pretty solid. The secondary looked really good, even though the picks were both kind of like TJ Watt's pick, I'll give it to him, but the other one, Daniel Jones got hit and it just happened. TJ Watt, though, there is this one play I want to talk about, speaking of TJ Watt, with he had a strip sack, right? In the I want to say the second quarter, and it goes in the end zone, and the Giants recovered in the end zone, but then they just called it an incomplete pass, and they never reviewed it, and that kind of bugs me. But like, the game's over. It is what it is. I don't think it would have really helped, besides like if you're a fantasy team. Oh yeah, actually that would have helped me because I was playing the Pittsburgh defense in fantasy. I still won. It's fine. But yeah, defense looks good going forward. So again, I think Pittsburgh can maybe slot the wild card. I'm hoping the Giants could at least push for a wild card. I don't think they're going more than 9-7 and missing, but we'll see. You know, there's reason for optimism for Giants fans, but I don't know. I feel like I say that every year. So that's that. If you want to see more football coverage, let me know. If you want more games covered, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to just stick to Giants. Other than that, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.